good. Guys, it's so pretty outside because it's all snowy. We literally have a 1.5 feet of snow.
You want ice cream?
Maybe not that much. Maybe a foot.
That's a lot.
I want ice cream.
We have a ton of snow. It's really cool. And Minka loves playing in it. I just finished shoveling the driveway, and you can't even tell now. But Minka was out there, and like I would move the shovel like across the driveway, and she'd chase the snow, and then I'd throw it, and she'd jump into the snow and like play with it, and then she'd like roll around in the snow like she was a dog. It was so funny. She was so cute. She likes the snow.
That's fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is that our positive focus from UK this week?
That and we had an unexpected snow day Friday, and we're probably gonna have one tomorrow. So.
Nice. Yeah. Time off. What are you gonna do with your extra time?
I don't know.
Okay.
Right.
I definitely want to read, so I'm probably gonna read a little bit.
Good. Anna?
My POFO is that I'm in Mexico, and so the weather here is really nice, and yeah, it's nice and sunny, and there's lots of little shade trees, and I'm in Mexico, nice and warm.
Can you see my POFO?
It's toast. Toast
No,
with ice cream on it.
This is what we call an ice cream sandwich.
Oh.
That's the way some people have their ice cream sandwiches here.
That seems like an ice cream sandwich to me.
Yep, that's what I think too.
Well, good. My positive focus. I got to talk to Mahesh this morning.
Oh,
Good.
yay. How's Mahesh?
He's good. He's in India. He's enjoying. He's doing great at his company. He's still doing pharmaceutical engineering and whatnot, and he really enjoys it. He's ready for me to come over and hang out in India for a while with him.
Who's Mahesh?
He's a friend of mine from Purdue, from college, and he was a chemical engineer at Purdue. He worked for Bristol Myers Squibb for a while in New Jersey, and then he moved back to India, and he's just been doing real well. But I don't get to talk to him terribly often, so I was able to finally reconnect with him, and then so I gave him a call.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, Kay, let's see. What did you like about this week? All this stuff this time, huh?
There's a lot of stuff this time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's start with Zig Ziglar.
Yeah.
Setting goals. I liked his step-by-step of making a goal. With first you write it down, and I mean not in order, but sort of in order. You write it down, you put a date on it, you list the obstacles to overcome, you identify people to work with, spell out the plan of action, put a time limit on it, and write down the benefits.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dad, what do you think about Zig?
I love the third one where he talks about the procession worm.
Tell us more.
Did you catch that, Caroline?
The procession one.
That was the worm that follows the worm in front of it. And he put them so that they were in a circle going around a pot, a flower pot. After a few days, he put pine needles in there, which is what they eat off of. That's their food. But since their natural instinct tells them to follow the worm in front of them, and they were in the form of a circle, they kept going around the circle and ended up dying of starvation.
There was no leader.
And it's because it just never had a goal in life of where to go. They just kept active and didn't really go anywhere. They just kept going around in a circle because that's their natural instinct. Follow the one in front of them.
Hmm.
How many people do you think do that?
Lots of people.
They just go to work, come home, pay their bills, go back to work,
Continuous.
and they're in a rat race continuously.
Mhm.
I like that particular part.
How about you, Anna?
I liked his. If you know the formula, it makes no difference what the problem, aka the goal, is. So as long as you know, you have to write it down, put a date on it, identify the obstacles, and what groups you need to work with, what you need to know, make a plan of action, and write down what's in it for you. As long as you know that formula, it doesn't matter what it is you want to do. You can just put it in that formula and go.
Mhm.
Anna, I thought that was really good too. That brings up it really reminded me a lot of like achievement versus fulfillment. That achievement is a science, fulfillment is an art. Right? Science, there's things are step by step. We know why things are the way they are. We
Yeah.
can reproduce something in a lab. It's science. Okay, that's achievement. If you want to achieve a goal, it's cool. Follow this five step formula. That's how you achieve it. Therefore, if you want to achieve anything in life, it's really not all that hard, really. It's the same formula for absolutely everything. Now, what you might be wanting to achieve might be hard, but like achievement on its own is not terribly all that hard. Okay? If you really want something done, you know the way to get it done. So don't be baffled by how to actually get something done. You know the steps. Versus art. Art, there's not really anything like you're going by feeling, right? Much more right brain, right, Kay? Like everything is art is much is a it's just more subjective, right? Kind of one person's fulfillment might not be another person's fulfillment. So to marry the two together, what goals and what not you set should be things that you think will lead you to your fulfillment. The goals are things you're achieving that are scientifically based. In other words, like here's a plan, here's what I'm going to do in this amount of time, and doing that will cause me to have fulfillment, I think.
I think Kay's frozen.
Kay's
Yeah,
seen Frozen.
Kay's frozen.
I'm not sure how
Okay,
long she's been frozen, but
so you say she just popped off. So I left there for just a second. So I understand achievement is science because there's a formula and you can achieve kind of anything. But am I understanding it correctly that fulfillment being an art is it's the type of goals you set to achieve that equal your fulfillment?
yeah, you try to figure out like fulfillment. Since it's an art and it's subjective, and one person's art, they might think something's beautiful, whereas the other person thinks it's ugly. You have to
Yeah.
figure out what your art is, and then set your goals accordingly. Okay, so it's just another way of looking at Covey's begin with the end in mind. Your end may not be the same as another person's end. However, goals and whatnot like that, extremely easy. It's habit 3. Put first things first. Like, what do you need to do in order to get to that endpoint? Everybody's going to a different endpoint because each person's fulfillment looks differently to them.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, there may be some similarities, and those are the people that you hang out with because they're going the same place you are,
Mhm.
right? So that's your peer group. But in a sense, that's what you're really after. Like when you're setting goals and whatnot like that. Like, what do you think will get you closer to your fulfillment? Because goals are just putting first things first once you have a plan on where is it you're wanting to actually go anyway. So I thought that was an interesting point. Dad, what else did you like out of Zig?
Oh, I just liked everything about him. I don't know. I started listening to those again a while ago, and I ended up listening to a John Roth, and then Earl Nightingale, and a whole bunch of them. So
I
notes are
know.
downstairs.
One of these days we're
We'll
going
go
to
get
get
them.
it to where you will watch these ahead of time, find the ones you like the best, and then get those over to us so that we can watch the best ones.
I know.
We have to,
They all have something to say. I just brought up one for the girls where it talked that Jim Roth talks about how he was a millionaire by the time he was 31. First 6 years he didn't get anything right. Next 6 years he did. Helped him
do you want that one?
along
Do you want that one,
for
Dad,
the
to be the
girls
one for next
because
week?
his number one idea of why he was able to accomplish that, not necessarily, that was, like I say, the first thing was America, that he was in America, and I think it was before when Warren Buffett said that,
Okay.
that only in America you got here. So,
So,
but there were some other things in there that I thought the girls might like, so I brought it up for them.
that's good.
But no, I was ready at 7 o'clock tonight.
That's good.
See, Super
Next
Bowl
time-
Sunday didn't make much
Next time-
difference to me.
Look at the email. It
You realize
says,
we send
Yeah.
they send an email out every week, and you can just look at it.
I know.
Okay. From the email, you can kind of tell what time that
Right.
they're wanting to start it.
and I
Okay.
even boxed you to remind you.
So for next week, we do need a video. Dad, since you've already sent that one over and you're hoping that they're watching it, would you like to make that the video for next week?
I can
That's a good.
get one from Roth that I think is better. It comes in 3 series, like Zig says. They're just real short suckers.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you get that over to Caroline by like Wednesday of this week?
Hi, King.
Okay.
It says.
Hey, you're back. Good. All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, Kate,
Internet's a little fuzzy.
I
you've
think that we already talked about the 1 millimeter from Tony, didn't we?
yeah, we talked about 1 millimeter quite a bit.
On here we have?
I don't remember where, but I know I've heard that one quite a bit.
Well, tell us,
I thought
Kate,
it was-
what did you take away from Tony Robbins? Because
Well, the 1 millimeter thing was what I got from it.
okay, because I didn't know what it actually had to do with goal setting at all.
Yeah, I didn't.
But
I guess just to overcome obstacles, because Zig Ziglar had
Sure.
said, you have to know what obstacles you're going to have to overcome as part of that formula. And in order to overcome an obstacle, it's good to know that you may only be a little bit off. There's that one limiting factor that you know.
Yeah, that's true.
so, Kay, can you think of anything that you're trying to do in your life where you might just be slightly off?
I mean, I could relate to the golf. I was like, yeah, that's true. So I could.
How about you, Anna? Anything you can think of in your life where you might be 1 millimeter off in something, and it's causing something to not work the way you want it to?
I can't think of anything.
Dad?
Not right off, dude.
Everything's
But it helps me think, oh, if I just make little changes
well,
now, it'll make a big change later. Like I can think of examples of things that I changed a month ago or a year ago, just little things that really have made a big difference
like what?
now.
Mhm.
Like doing long-term investment things with the houses, refinishing the floors, or doing, and that's kind of a bigger thing, but that's one small thing that you can do, and then that helps out so much down the road.
What's it help out? Like for that one, just explain that one to Katie and everybody.
When people move out, I don't have to take time to schedule when we can get the carpets cleaned or vacuum them first. Then I don't have to wait a couple days for them to dry. When the person moves out, they're usually already clean because it's easy to clean. So they've already cleaned it. I can have the next person moved in the next day if there's no carpet because it's a lot easier. So that just makes that house a lot easier for me to take care of because I don't have to do any of that. But just like not biting my nails, taking the time to form a habit to not bite my nails makes my nails so much prettier now. And now I don't even want to bite my nails. So like just doing the little habit. And then like Spanish, like it's gonna be a bigger thing right now. But just a few hours every day for 7 or 8 weeks, that's gonna make a huge impact on my life. Because then I'll be super marketable. I'll probably travel quite a bit more, a couple times a year in just Spanish-speaking situations, so that I can keep up with it. So that's going to impact a lot, and that's just one little thing that I'll do when I'm 31 years old or whatever. That'll stick with me for a really long time.
Anna, this is kind of off topic, but do you want, we just got our new vocab list for Spanish class, and they're travel based, so it's like 4 different pages of like, if you go to a restaurant or if you go to an airport or all that stuff. Do you want me to like send you a picture? Do you want me to get a hard copy and email it to you?
You can just send me pictures.
Okay.
I like having extra little things because there's like the agenda, but then there's the extra words. Sometimes if you get them from all different sources, then you can grab onto different things.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Dad, how about you? Anything that you feel like you've made a 2 millimeter change on and it's made a big difference?
Just spending more time with the girls here, trying to get them to understand different things. We talked a lot on the trip back last night, and it was amazing how much DJ was able to start connecting dots from things that she had heard before. So just a little of this and a little of that, the dots start connecting every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And in Stephen Covey's book, they have what they call like paradigm shift.
Yep.
Or behavior change, right? What Tony's talking about are behavior changes. A little behavior change can sometimes make a really big difference. Or sometimes you need to say, heck with it, the whole paradigm has to go and it has to be something completely new. So you're always looking for kind of the balance. Like Henry Ford said, if they would have asked him what they wanted, people would have told him that they wanted a faster horse.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He didn't come up with a faster horse, right? He came up with the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it solved the problem, but just in a completely, entirely new way. So we have to have lateral thinking to think completely outside, or we can realize that just an incremental improvement or an incremental change can make a monstrous difference. For example, one thing that I'm doing right now, Kay, I used to work out in the morning, always gotten great results when I worked out in the morning. Well, as it turns out, I do my best thinking in the morning as well. Well, bless you. It fits out better in my day if I actually work out in the afternoon because I do all my best thinking, get on some calls, work out a little bit with Jenny, and then can hang out and do other stuff after that. It just works out better in my day when I do that. I wasn't getting the benefits that I was getting whenever I worked out first thing in the morning. I started working out in the morning about 2 weeks ago. I feel so much better than I have in the last couple of years. It's a simple behavior change. It didn't take any more time for me to change the positioning of when in the day I did that at all.
Huh. So how do you get it all in then? How do you work out and get your thinking done?
I just get up earlier in the morning. I go to bed earlier. I don't schedule my calls until a little bit later. So, like, I'm still working on that, but you see what I mean? Like, there's sometimes
Yeah.
little behavior changes that are like 2 millimeters that make an awful lot of difference. So there's both things, behavior and paradigm. You can look for both of them. But Tony's saying, like, just sometimes, like, when you're getting frustrated and stuff like that, that's good because that means success is near. That means you're about ready to learn something, right? You'll always be commended at a Tony Robbins seminar if you're confused. If you're confused about something, it just means you're about to learn something, so good. Thank goodness you're confused. You're about to learn. Like, that's about to happen. So, like, be ready for it and capture it. That way, like, you'll know that you just learned something, you know? So saying and being confused is never bad. Like, that's good. All right. Anything else from those two, Zig or Tony?
Oh, okay. Okay. Something sparked. I connected a dot, but I can't remember what I connected it to. It was from the Zig video and I thought of Evan Almighty, the movie Evan Almighty, and there's one scene where the God, the person who portrays God, he talks to the mom and he says, if you ask for patience, do you think God gives you patience, or does He give you the opportunity to be patient? But I think it was something, and there's something in this video that sparked that, but I can't remember. I don't know if it was something with goals.
It was probably that goals chase your blues away. And it's not that having a goal is chasing your blues away. It's the act of that goal creating an activity and that activity is creating excitement for the journey of reaching that goal. So that might have, I don't know, that may be it.
I have that written down right before it, so it was probably something like that.
Probably along this line. Just that, the goal itself is not chasing the blues away. The activities you're doing in order to attain that goal are creating excitement and vision, and that's chasing your blues away. The activities, the getting moving, the working towards something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because what's the core word with emotion? Motion. Move. Do something. Get moving. Was it Zig's video that said, like, talked about the lottery ticket? Maybe been something else I watched this week. So like praying to God for a winning lottery ticket.
Right.
Praying for a winning lottery ticket. God, I wish I had a winning lottery ticket. I really need a wish. And like God was always saying, like, buy a ticket. You gotta do something. Like, it's one thing like this, like the secret of the movie The Secret was that thoughts become things, but they don't become things without any action.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you still need to move toward them. You need to lean into them. You need to actually, like, work toward them. If you don't, it's kind of unreasonable to think that they're just going to spontaneously happen. Like,
Yeah,
Katie, when you look at your vision board, and of the things that you have received, that you've actualized off that vision board, was there anything on there that you got without focusing attention and doing probably at least something to make those happen? It doesn't make them any less powerful, but you just have to realize that, like, it's not that they're just going to spontaneously occur. If worse comes to worse, you may not have had to do a lot of work. Maybe it was just the focus you had on them. You were focused. You had your focus on them. That way, whenever they came up, whenever it became possible, you're like, oh yeah, I want that done. I need to do that. Yes, that right there. Whatever he's just said, I want that. So, like, what do I need to do what you just said that? Right? At least at that point, you're ready. You know, like you're poised and ready. Even if you're not like actively pushing it out and working for it, you're ready and you're crouched and you're ready to roll. Like whenever I talked to Mahesh this morning, I've been wanting to go to India for a while. So when he's like, hey, you should come over here. Yes, I am going to come over there. What's a good month to come over there? October? I'll plan on coming over in October. Do you see what I mean? Like that way you're just jumping at an opportunity. Did I search out a way to go to India? No, it wasn't that high of a goal for me. But when the opportunity presents itself, yes, I'll take that. I'll do that. You got it, absolutely.
It's almost like there's two steps to the vision board. You have to visualize it, but then you also have to do it.
Yeah, there's usually some doing.
Welcome for it to come your way.
Yeah, you have to have just all things aligned. You just have to have everything lined up to where, like, if that presents itself, or if that's just around a corner or an obstacle or whatever, you have to at least be able to see it and be like, I can get around that obstacle. Because what's my obstacle for going to India? Oh, getting time off, the other things, the opportunity costs that are around what else I might be doing during that time period, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see which one's most important for me to go to India or the opportunity cost. You know, it'll have to be like, which one's most important to me? How highly do I want to prioritize it? Right? Just putting first things first.
A little bit extra, like Mahesh is over there, and then that tips the scales a little more because that's going to be somebody for its nose. It's going to be quality time with a friend.
That's right. What if I get to go with someone else? What if somebody else comes with me? Ooh, now all of a sudden, now we're adding to the pot a little bit. Hey,
take me with you.
Depends, maybe. So like, all right.
He's like,
so like,
no, not really.
Maybe.
Not happening.
Oh, maybe I want to go to a meditation retreat while I'm over there. No better place in the world to go than India for a meditation retreat. That's 3 birds with 1 stone so far. All of a sudden, now I'm making it pretty awesome now, aren't I? Like it's just becoming.
Thought about it for like 5 minutes.
See what I'm saying? Oh, maybe I want to do like a yoga retreat while I'm there too. Well, I don't know. Yoga started there. It seems like a reasonable thing. You know, like literally, like all of a sudden it can become something to where like now it has a lot of momentum behind it. Yeah, there we go. So like, maybe on my vision board and bucket list was also like yoga retreat.
Oh, oh, duh. That's what durazno is.
Durazno.
Oh dear.
Me gusta los duraznos.
Whoa.
All right, guys.
Están muy bien. Muy delicioso.
Delicioso. Es mi favorita.
Sí.
So guys, anybody else? Anything on Zig or Tony before we go to the next one, last one?
Nope. Nada.
Dad, they were yours. Anything else you want on those?
No, you got pretty much of it. You know, I just found them to be very motivating, and I thought it wouldn't hurt to just kind of. I know we had a little bit of that, even though Kay says she can't remember, you know, about the millimeter, but stuff like that just kind of needs to be
thrown in there.
Rehashed. Yeah.
Yeah. There was one extra thing that, and I think it was, we watched 3 Zig Ziglar videos, and it was the entire second one And we didn't touch on that. The whole thing was the rule is simple. You do it now.
Mhm.
And I think that's interesting that none of us really touched on it because we've made that something that we already do. We're already the type of people who do it now. We don't make excuses. We don't wait for the next thing. So that wasn't something that I don't think necessarily needed to touch on or that really spoke to us because we're already the type of people who, if there's something that needs done, we do it now. We don't put things off. We don't make excuses. Or else we wouldn't be the type of people to be on these calls.
True. Good point, Anna. And
Okay.
Tony Robbins will always say, like, never leave the side of making a goal without starting something to ensure its attainment. In other words, get momentum and get momentum early. Whether it's sending an email, whether it's doing whatever, it doesn't make any difference. It can be a really small little step. Doesn't matter. Get momentum right then. Like,
And,
start the ball rolling.
And that's a lot of what I do on Sunday nights now, because Sunday our meetings are very thought-provoking, and I get a lot of ideas, and being with you guys, get a lot of ideas and kind of goals set for the rest of the week. And so my Sunday evenings, I make my list, which I've already started. There it is. I start making my list for the week, and then I put it in my calendar so that I know, and I might send a few emails or whatever, but I start my week on Sunday night as, a way to get those goals that we talked about. So I can see how that works out really well.
Hello.
Okay, the last one is SMART. Specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound.
No way. Really? That's it? Nice.
That's kind of what Zig talked about with the steps and what you have to have for a goal.
Yeah, what was her first one?
Zig had,
yeah.
He had defined the obstacles.
Yes, and the benefits.
And then write down what's in it for me.
How's she holding up?
I guess that's more relevant, right?
Yeah.
But I like the identify any obstacles that are in your way. And I think Fritz does a good job of helping us with that. If we don't get to our goal, and he'll go,
really phenylephrine, not having a supporter brush really all that much.
And you'll go, well, I get tired in the morning. So then he'll say, well, switch it to the afternoon, or get an alarm clock, or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's a good thought, but you know what I mean? Like, if hemodynamically she's still hanging in there and doing okay, then
reevaluate.
Let's see if she'll fly.
That was another thing that be smart all you want, but if you
I appreciate it.
Don't reevaluate it every now and then, it's not going to make it work.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I jumped off there for a second. So it's the SMART goals? Go for it. Talk to me. I missed the last part, sorry.
We just talked about how it was like, it was kind of like what Zig talked about, except Zig also talked about listing the obstacles to overcome, which, and Anna mentioned that you were really good at this because you, like, whenever we don't get a goal done, you're always like, okay, so why? What didn't work?
Yep.
And then we figure that out.
So that's a good one. It's a big one, and like if you guys come away with nothing from these three other than just the acronym SMART and what it stands for, it can really, 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 really help you make goals. So like this one is really great on just being able to make a goal, because half of the art of a goal is making a good goal. Okay, so next week I wanted to go over, like, if this week you guys can think about what goals do you want for the year. I know we kind of, like, it's the beginning of February, but like kind of the New Year's resolution goals, and like for this year, what do you want to do this year? What are your goals for this year? and then throw them through the spanking machine of specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time bound. Like, for example, Grandpa, what's one of your goals this year?
I haven't decided.
Pick me.
Hannah?
Okay, so one of my goals was Spanish. That's what I put down.
Okay.
But if I make it specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound, it would be to speak and understand Spanish by April 1st so that I can do an immersion, and I'll do that by going through Rosetta Stone and Duolingo for 7 weeks, and I'll work 3 hours every day to start off with to see how far I get.
That's
that
a
way.
lot.
So that's the how.
3
Those
hours
are all
every
good.
day?
Well, I don't know how long Rosetta Stone usually takes.
Well, Anna, okay, so for your goal, go through your first line again, because let me see if we can help you just with your goal. You had it time bound, which is perfect. April 1st.
Speak and understand Spanish.
So how would you be able to measure that? Because you're not going to be able to speak and understand all Spanish. Do you want to be conversationally fluent in Spanish? Because that's easier, and that's what you're really after, right?
Yeah.
Conversationally fluent, right? And you can measure conversationally fluent because it's basically you able to have a conversation with someone in Spanish, right? That's what you're really wanting to have happen. So that's specific, it's measurable, it's certainly relevant, and it's time bound. Okay, actionable. There is action you can take in order to get it. So that alone is a SMART goal. Now, everything else you said, that was all how you're going to do it, what actions you're going to take in order to achieve that goal, which is all good stuff to, like, obviously that's step 2. But like you know what I mean? Like that's step 2. Like, okay, so how you going to do it, Anna? How you going to do that by April 1st? Well, I'm going to do this for this amount of time, this for this amount of time, this for this amount of time. Now, some people will make that the actual goal. That would be wrong a lot of times, because for you to do Rosetta Stone, like if somebody were to say, my goal is to do Rosetta Stone for Spanish for 3 hours per day for the next 7 weeks. That's specific, it's measurable, it's time bound, relevant, but it doesn't really get you to your end point. You really wanted to learn Spanish, didn't you? I thought that's what you really wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So like literally, like if you can get to the end point in your goal, that's what you really want. Now, if you need to have it, if you can't really define the end point and it's not measurable, like conversationally fluent, that's theoretically is pretty measurable. Talk to somebody in Spanish for 10 minutes. If you can hold the conversation, you don't need to ask them to stop and pause and do everything for a long time, or multiple times throughout, then like you're conversationally fluent. Done.
Just tell them at the beginning of your conversation, please go really, really slow, and then you'll be perfect.
I keep, the last couple of days, I've been wanting to go back and learn that phrase. Could you speak slower for me? So
Repite, por favor.
Yeah, just talk a little slower and I can get you.
How about you, Kay? What have you got for this year's goals? Any goal for you this year?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have goals, but they're not smart yet.
They're not smart yet.
Do you want any of us to?
Well, then we'll try to help make it smart.
Which is my goal for this week, is to make it smart.
Okay. Do you want us to help you with any of them right now or no?
Yeah, I can do one of them now. Okay.
Because next week we'll do what we do, like a little workshop. Grandpa will send over an email, but otherwise we can do a little workshop to come up with what our goals are for whatever time period you guys want. If you want it to be the year, Anna's will be done in April. Her one goal right there will be done in April. But like you can have year goals, whatever. But that way we can do a little workshop to make sure that like we're setting goals the right way. Because if Anna had just said, I want to learn Spanish.
I did last year.
Remember that
How
one?
good did that work out?
See, it's just
because-
not a smart goal.
I like the SMART goals because they actually get you to do something other than giving you this big daunting task that you're gonna.
Right.
That takes the whole entire year to finish, but you never start on it because
Even-
it takes so long to do.
Even if Anna would have learned some Spanish, she wouldn't have been able to pat herself on the back because there's no way that she can measure it. Now that's one of the biggest problems. Like time bound is usually pretty easy if it's an annual goal because it's the end of the year, right? That one's
Yeah.
pretty easy. Okay, relevant. They're usually relevant. Otherwise, why in the heck are you making them? Actionable. You can almost always find the action. Like you can come up with the action behind it. You know, like measurable and specific are the toughest two. Making it be able to be measured is sometimes the hardest one whenever you're trying to like, you know, like when you're really trying to make this work.
Yeah, I have. Well, one of. I'll just tell you two right now. I mean, well, one of them, which I told you before, was starting up a business type thing with Emma this year. But I think that that's something that she and I would have to do together for the goal.
That's
Because
fine.
we'd have to have the same goal.
You can have a group goal.
And then the other one is we're going to Ocean Isle June 5th through something.
Uh-huh.
So I want to make sure I got a beach body, you know.
Ooh.
So what does that mean?
So-
That's a good one to be specific for.
I know. It means, I don't know. It's not measurable, but it means to feel
It can be.
comfortable.
Can be.
But it'd be like my opinion.
That's fine.
Is that
Put your-
measurable?
Put your
Like,
opinion in measurements.
For me to feel comfortable
What's your
in my body.
what's
Not that
your-
I don't now, but
What's your waist look like? Does that matter?
yeah.
Does it have a like a measurement around there, X number of inches around your waist?
I mean, it does, but I haven't measured it.
Okay. Then just think about like
I just need to be. I'm not okay. It's not that I need to like lose weight or anything. It's just I need to be more toned.
okay.
Okay.
How do you define
That's-
that?
That's what I'm
You
toned.
can measure that by your BMI. You
Body
can measure-
mass index.
Yeah, you can measure
Yep.
your BMI and then
There's
say,
every way.
okay, I want to get my BMI to here.
Or whenever I
Good.
wave, I don't want the big flab of skin that's on my tricep to go walking in the wind.
I don't have it.
Well, then you already have that. You can't use that as a metric. See what I mean? Like, it's okay. It's different for every single person, okay? It's different for everybody. You're making up the rules. You have to
I want
find
to. I guess I want to be able to see definition.
Huh?
A
where.
little bit of definition
Where?
on my arms and on my tummy.
Okay? How will you know that you've achieved the goal?
I don't know.
Will you be able to tell definition yes, no?
Yeah, if I look at myself,
What will you be looking for?
I don't know.
Muscles?
Like, how will you know? Do you want to see a six-pack? Do you want a four-pack? Is a four-pack
I'm
definition?
not sure.
Is
I'm
a
not sure.
two-pack definition? Like, is
not sure
being
if
able to see your
six-pack is
bicep
available.
versus your tricep definition? It's cool, but the more specific you can get,
I know.
the
Okay.
easier it will be to be able to describe. So like Anna, you see her tricep. If she defined that as definition, then Anna has a measurement that she knows that she achieved. See what I mean? One thing you want to be able to do after you're done with a goal is be able to celebrate its achievement, right?
Not much definition right there.
If that was a goal of Anna's, she could say that she wanted definition right there and what it would look like.
It's
See-
like, no way.
See,
And you could take a picture before, and then you could take a picture in a couple weeks, and that's how you would reevaluate. You
I
go.
I don't know how. I don't know how to make it attainable. Like, no, not attainable. Measurable.
well then
I
for
don't know how
that
to make it.
for that K, Okay, that takes a little visualization. So this week, visualize. What exactly do you want to look like? In your mind's eye, think about what you really want to look like. Like what's your ideal? Now, then think, how is that different than I am right now? Is
Okay.
there anything that you could possibly measure about that? Is there any difference in being able to pinch an inch at your waist? Is it not being able to pinch anything anywhere because it's just so toned? That might be it. I don't know. But if you get a really good vision of what it is you really want, then you'll notice that there's differences between right now and there, and that's what you measure.
It is a harder one because that's one that I
It's
brainstormed.
tough.
I wanted to be more healthy, and that's so vague.
Yeah.
Be more healthy.
So now, what's that mean? Does that mean
So-
weight? Does that mean energy level? Does that mean flexibility? Does that mean what does that mean?
Healthy.
You know, like
Yeah, exactly. Like, what does that mean for me? And me, I want to be more active. I want to, when I make meals, think about it. I want it to be a part of my life. I want health and fitness to be a part of my life. So I kind of made the goal of, I'm going to work out bi-weekly, at least twice a week, do a good workout. And the goal is to do that workout, I think, because the actual goal is to have working out and eating right being a part of my everyday life.
Mhm.
And I want to start that this year.
You just touched on that. This is the big thing, guys. When you can break your year goals, can be big year goals. You cut them down into quarters. Okay, so that's a 3-month goal, being something that's a little bit more attainable in 3 months. And then the very best thing that you can possibly do are what habits need to happen in order for me to just make that part of my lifestyle. Like, what do you need? Like, because remember when we talked about like habits and willpower, right? Habits, something you're doing all the time. You don't even think about it. It doesn't take up any willpower or nothing. It's just part of your day. Like Anna just wants healthy to be a habit of hers. What does that mean? Like,
Yeah.
that
But you
means
should
that she would
take
have.
tiny baby steps.
Right. So like you baby step it out, that's fine. But when you start with something so vague, it doesn't lead to any. It leads to no habit formation. So like, what's the habit? Is the habit working out 3 times a week? A good workout. What is that? What is a good workout? Like, I don't know. Like, what's an actual good workout? Is it getting heart rate above a certain amount? Is it for a certain time period? Like, what exactly is a good workout to her? What exactly is eating right to her? Like,
Can measurability, can that be a feeling? Like when you're working out and then like
no.
you feel
Un-
hard to walk the next day.
That's going to be really hard.
Could it be that my abs hurt the next day?
That's possible.
That's measurable.
It's good when it's not. It's good when it's not a feeling and it's objective versus subjective. If it's something that any person could look and see. Those are the very best ways. Therefore, like if it's a number, if it's based on anything, then like it's very easy to know. Because like the more gray that you get in your measurability, the easier it is to fudge it. Okay? And then you can make yourself feel better even though you're not doing what it is you're supposed to be doing. Like for me, I put down like I want to sleep 7 hours a night. With my new like little recording device that's on my Fitbit that has the heart rate monitor and stuff, it will tell me exactly. It'll tell me exactly how many nights I got 7 hours or not. I can't be like, I think I did pretty well at that this week. I think probably 5 times out of the 7 times. No, I just go back and the data's all there. You can't screw with the
Mhm.
data. The data's there. Like, it's black and white. It doesn't get much easier than that. Was I active this week? It has how many steps I had. If I'm gonna say my activity has to do with a number of steps, if I want to use that as a metric because it's measurable,
Yeah.
then I can use that. Like it all depends on like what it is you want to measure, but you want it to be as objective as possible. That's where measurability gets a little tough. But bring next week if we can, just what it is that you overarching kind of want to do, and then we can try to make them smart. We can try to smartify them as best we can.
Okay.
I get a vision of kind of like big goals for the next year, because it's the making of them smart and then breaking them down into bite-sized chunks that makes a big difference.
I kind of made some notes that I think are going to be helpful to me. There's 4 of them in order to make good goals. Number 1, you need to make them smart, specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time bound. Number 2, you need to figure out your plan of attack, your how. Number 3, you need to start it in motion right now. And then 4, you have to reevaluate it and set up when you're going to reevaluate it.
Yep.
I think those are going to help me.
Those are perfect. Now, Anna, a big one on the very front end, like whenever you're making them smart, you want to really, really get in touch with why.
Okay.
Why do you want to do this? Like when you pick them out, think of why. Like even when you're thinking healthy, being healthy is not exactly easy because almost everything that's unhealthy is much more fun. Therefore, you're going to need a good why if you're going to stay good with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're
And
saying is for you to be
I want to
healthy,
be,
you have to say no
because
to ice
I'm
cream.
going to live for a long time.
Not
So I need to
right.
take care of the body that I've got, and I need to be healthy because it's going to set a good example for
Yep.
my kids or for my friends or whatever. Um,
And that's the big
so,
deal because if you find that your why is just not strong enough, it's cool. Just don't pick that as a goal.
uh-huh.
If your
Well,
why
that's
is not as strong as, like if why wasn't as big of a deal, like if it's not that big of a deal, like in other words, if it's a goal that you've had for a long time or something you've been wanting to do for a long time but you just haven't done it at all, it's probably not that important to you.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it
Well,
bad. It's just not that important to you. Otherwise, you would have probably done it.
I think the why also goes along with like is it relevant? But also it's got to touch your fulfillment. Like you had said, um, that achievement is different from fulfillment. Um, and things that make me feel fulfilled would be friends, travel, knowledge, quality of life, family, financial freedom. Those things make me feel fulfilled. And so that's how I know if they're relevant or not. So Spanish is relevant to me because um, it's in order for me to feel fulfilled, I like to travel.
Yep.
Speaking Spanish makes me a whole lot marketable in the travel field. And so, and plus it also touches on my constant never-ending improvement, which is something that makes me feel fulfilled, is always moving towards improving myself. So does it make me
Yep.
feel fulfilled?
Yep. Those are big ones. So, Kay, is that giving you a lot to think about?
Yeah. My brain capacity is about full.
I always
All right,
feel that way after these calls.
that's good. All right, so let's do our goals from last time.
Wait, I have something first.
Okay.
So when I was working out today, I was watching American Idol, and there, Anna, stop.
Oh dear.
And I was watching, and there's this, oh, okay, there, put this post-it note in front of your face. There's this one guy who was really, really good, and Jennifer and, well, they all the judges were saying, when people ask them what they look for the American Idol, or for people to make it through to American Idol, they say they can't pinpoint it. They're looking for talent, they're looking for a good stage presence, they're looking for a good personality. And I'm like, they're so stupid. Like, they're dumb, because they're looking for passion. Like, that's what they're looking for. They just
They don't know.
obviously
I
didn't
just
know
don't
what they
know
were
what they
looking
actually
for, so
wanted.
I should just write them a letter and let them know that it's passion. Like, you could tell once this guy came on that it was passion. Like, he was so, oh my gosh, it gave me goosebumps. He's so good. He had passion. That's my sticky note for the day.
True that, Kay. And you can always tell those people, can't you? When they
Yeah.
come on and they have passion versus don't have passion.
Yeah, oh my god. Let me tell you about passion. My math teacher, first period pre-calc. He has so much passion about math. It's great. Like, he literally is up there and he has like he has really bad like OCD. Like, he has all 24 markers arranged by color of the rainbow, and they're all standing up on his like little chalk tray. And so he, like, when he teaches, he like goes really fast and everything. He like gets all into it, and his face starts turning red, and he's like, "Man, it's hot up here. You guys sweating? I'm sweating up here." He was just so funny. And it's first period, so it wakes you up, and like class is all asleep. He makes me laugh. He has lots of passion for math, which I don't have.
But now you don't have a passion for math, but doesn't his passion make any impact on you?
I mean, it wakes me up a little bit. I mean, I guess so. It still doesn't make me passionate about math.
Do you like math more with him versus who you had last year?
Yeah, no, I like him. He's a good math teacher.
Yep.
Kay, I've found that like I like people who have passion about something and I don't even care what it is.
Yeah.
As long as it's not something that's like, like I like killing people. Ha! Watch this and shoot someone in the head. At that point, like that's something I don't really like his passion, but like literally anything of reason that people are passionate about, I don't care what they're passionate about at all. I just love their energy and love how they're passionate about it. Because I'm sure I can find something that's cool about it, even if I don't really think it's awesome all on its own. And I don't get it. I'm not passionate about it. But being around passionate people is a really, really awesome thing. Which also makes you think, why don't you just do something you're passionate about as opposed to something you do for a job or something like that? You'll see that, Kay, whenever you see your friends and what they go to college to do, where they won't follow their passion, they'll follow what their parents tell them that makes enough money. And that's a hard trade to make right there.
A hard trade. Oh, I also have another question.
It's a bad trade.
It's kind of off topic, but when you guys go to like Tony Robbins seminars and whenever you go on like retreats or whatever, is it really on a scale from 1 to 10? How important is it to have like 2 or 3 days to like reflect on it, or like have some downtime after it?
Everybody's a little different on that, Kay. You can do however you want there. I like to have a little bit of time afterwards. It doesn't mean that I have to have time where I do absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
But it does mean a little bit. Now, it's a good thing you bring that up, Kay, because I wanted to tell you. In your planner, please put down, Kay. I have you signed up for an event this summer. I just hadn't told you yet.
Oh, already?
Yeah, you're signed up. So Tony Robbins is doing a UPW. You're probably going to need Anna. She's been before, but you'll need Anna.
The power within. Boom! Make your move. Boom!
Anna's a veteran, so Anna can tell you how this works. So it's the
When is
6th, July 16th through the 19th. I confirmed
Okay.
with your mother you have an open schedule during that time period.
You did confirm with her?
Well, I didn't tell her about it, but I told her I was wondering kind of what you're doing and when you started back with golf, and it seemed like a time that it seemed kind of fuzzy and open. In other words, that's as open as what you ever get. It's fuzzy. So like so yeah, the 16th through the 19th is UPW. I have it in my calendar. Anna, you may want to add it to yours because Caroline will need probably somebody to go with, and I'm probably going to have most of the people in the company go too.
That's awesome.
Okay. 16 to 20th of July.
So Kay, get
This
ready
summer-
for a
this summer-
moving experience. I have a feeling, Kay, your life will never be the same after that.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, no.
Anna, what do you think?
Kay's gonna love it. Kay's gonna love it. It was awesome. I had so much fun.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited now.
Life will never be the same again for you, Kay.
Okay. I'm excited now. I just want summer to come so bad. I just want to be done with school.
So, goals? We ready for goals?
Yep. Goals from last week.
All right, KK, looks like workout 2 times, half a habit, and ACT.
Okay, ACT, yes. Habit 4, yes. Workout. I did one time today, and then like a legit workout, and then I went outside and shoveled the driveway by myself. So does that count as a workout too?
This is why goals are best when they're smart goals. Do you see what I'm saying? Like ACT. What the heck is ACT?
Oh, no,
How do you
I
measure
have that.
ACT?
I'm taking the ACT next weekend, so I have to do prep meet and get a schedule set on
Mhm.
how I'm gonna prepare for it. So I have that done, and I've already started the schedule. So
Okay.
I didn't write all that down.
Okay.
The workout usually go to a class or like actually do like a workout, Whereas shoveling snow, I mean, that's a workout, but it's not like a workout.
It.
So, no, you didn't quite get that one.
No, snow doesn't. Yeah.
Then I sort of did.
Well,
That's
you know,
why I like something mine that says go to the YMCA and do a class, because I tried to
It's
think sometimes
blurry.
that, you know what, I did a lot of walking today. Maybe that will count.
You see what I mean?
I do have a lot. I
When
like
things
to-
get blurry, but that's also when you don't meet your actual goals. Because is her goal really to go to the YMCA 2 times a week? No, that's not really what she's after. You know, it's not the act of walking through the doors of the YMCA. Now all of a sudden she's fulfilled. You know, like it's not like she does YMCA as soon as she actually goes through the door, right? She's not after that, right?
Yeah.
But as she fudges it, she's cheating herself out of her real goal.
Uh-huh.
Like her real goal isn't being fulfilled. All right, mine this last week. Kay, what is yours this next week? Next week.
I'm gonna have 3 SMART goals.
Rock on.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and then I'm gonna try this new idea that I came up with today, and Emma does it, and she has an app, like a workout app, and they're like 5-minute intervals for like different things, and she does that on her study breaks. So like she'll study and then she'll take a 5-minute workout break and then she'll study and take a 5-minute workout break. Do you think that actually works
Can't handle it.
versus going to like an hour class at the gym?
What do you think, Kay?
I don't know. I haven't done it.
What are your goals?
I don't know if it works. I don't know.
Well, it depends on what
Does
work
it have the same results?
I don't know. What results do you want?
Just the same results as a class.
Oh, dear.
Frenzy.
I don't know. There's only one way to find out. What results are you getting from the class?
Okay, well, I'm going to try a new workout thing, so I'm going to work out 4 times.
All right. All right.
Oh my gosh, and I have this ACT. Guys, I hope I get above a 28 on the ACT.
Me too, Kay.
I don't know if I will. I got a 25 or a 26 last year.
All right. Anna, where are you?
So-
What's yours?
Okay, my goals were to go to the Y twice, and I actually went 3 times. And 2 of the times that I went, I did multiple workouts. So one time I went and I did spinning. And then the next time I went and I did weightlifting with a trainer, and then I did yoga afterwards. And then the third time I went, I did, I did Zumba, and then did abs afterwards.
That was Zumba.
Zumba was really fun. I
Yeah.
thought that I wouldn't be able to keep up with it, but I thought, you know what, I'll try anyway. No, it was easier than kickboxing. It was a really good workout, and I didn't have to like think, am I supposed to go left or right or what? So
That's good.
yeah. So really, like workouts wise, I got in 5, but I'm only gonna count it as 3 because I went three times. But
Mhm.
anyway,
Cool.
I schedule them on Sundays.
So,
Okay, I'm
Kay,
going. I'm going.
Kay, here's your code of the week. You ready?
Okay.
Now we've done
Code of
this
the
one
week.
before. Okay. Lewis Carroll. Do you know who that was?
No.
Wrote Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
The cat asks, "Where are you going?" Alice. "I don't know. Which way should I go?" "Depends on where you're going." "I don't know." "Then it doesn't much matter which way you go." This is why we have goals. But this is why we also figure out what we want whenever we plan our goals. Okay? What is it behind your goal? What's your why? Okay? Like, where are you going? Otherwise, it doesn't really matter which way you go if you have no idea.
Okay.
Make sense? So when you ask,
Yeah.
like, will a 5-minute workout work? Well, it depends. Work for what? Like,
No, I mean, like,
where are you trying to go?
okay.
If you're trying to get the same results,
Yeah.
then that's perfect. All right, you're trying to get the same results. What results do you get?
Okay.
Dad, what about you?
Wait, we didn't do Anna's goals for next week.
Oh,
I meditated
Anna, what's your...
time.
Oh, I am going to work out twice, even though I am in Mexico and in California and traveling. If it's going to be part of my everyday life, I'll need to figure out things to do while I'm away. So there's a gym here, and so I'm going to go to the gym possibly twice while I'm here. But if I only get in once, then I will do a hike when I get to California.
You know what another good workout is?
What's that?
You're by a beach. Running on the beach.
That was another one I thought of. All right,
It's a really good workout.
I'm definitely going to do 2. I'm going to run on the beach twice, and I'm going to go to the gym, and then then when I get out to KOH, I'm going to do a hike.
So, 3 times workout?
Yep, I'm going to do 3 times workout.
All right, now go for it, Dad.
Yeah, I meditated 5 times. I only worked out twice.
What? Work out twice?
Yeah.
What happened?
Don't feel good.
Start your disc.
Are you feeling okay? Are you sick?
Got a massive headache.
Yeah.
We had runny noses. What? Tuesday, Wednesday. You know, we can't shake it. It seems like when one of us gets feeling better, the other one gives it back to us, and we just keep it in the family.
Get some Lysol and start cleaning that house.
Gotcha.
Okay,
It wasn't terribly lively before.
I'll tell the cleaner that.
On our scale of liveliness,
Is yours like, is it like a headache behind your eyeballs?
Right here,
yeah,
Dee.
right
There.
there.
Okay.
So is it a sinus headache?
Well, whatever. It's a big headache. DJ's got it. We all.
You should try taking some decongestion.
Yeah, what kind of medicine you taking?
Like ham
Right.
and lots of orange juice.
Lots of orange juice.
Yeah.
What are your goals for next week?
Gotcha.
Same as this week.
Gotcha. What do you think? I think she's probably all right, but I tell you what, I'll come by and check her in like a half hour just to see how she's doing. Yeah. No problem. Okay. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, let me just check on her in about a half hour. Just tell the girls in the PACU that I'll come check on her, and then we'll kind of make an assessment whether we need her to go to the ICU or not. All right, thanks, sir. Oh yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
You have to wait for Alfredo's goal.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was off the phone.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, bye.
Alfredo! Alfredo!
Hey, Roy, what's up?
Another person. He's popular. Are you watching the Super Bowl tonight, guys?
No.
Ooh, ouch.
We're watching it.
This is my patio.
Ooh.
There's
Thank you.
like birds and things.
What
Sorry,
are
guys.
those little animals that were little fuzzy little things?
Well, there's a lot of different fuzzy things. There's 2 different fuzzy type things.
Okay.
One looks like a guinea pig, and I'm not quite sure what it's called. It's like a big
Like
guinea
a capybara? Capybara?
Yeah, only capybaras, how big do they usually get? Because these are, I think capybaras are too big. Yeah, that's too big. These things are about the size of a rabbit.
Oh.
Like
That's
a big
weird.
rabbit.
Maybe they're wild guinea pigs. There are wild guinea pigs. Maybe they're like legit guinea pigs.
Yeah, I've seen them before. They were in Panama. And I asked one of the guys, I go, what is this? What is the name of it? And he said, jungle rabbit.
And you're like, oh, thanks.
The other ones are called coatis. Coates.
Little anteater, fuzzy anteaters.
Yeah, they're like fuzzy anteater with a
Those
lemur.
are so cute. Those are awesome.
They are really awesome. Because they'll like
That one.
bring snacks and you can like feed them. And they like a little raccoon. Only their little nose.
And I have a goal for you. Bring one back for me and Jane.
That's what she was like, I want one of those. I was like, you and me both. But I let him bite on this ring.
Mhm.
And then I took it away and he goes, big. And so then I went to him and he was like, he was mad at me.
He was mad at you.
I was gonna eat that.
And you're like, no, you weren't.
No, it didn't come off.
Aw, that's so cute. How does Grandma like them? She's back there like, oh my god.
He's okay with it. He's okay with it.
Okay, sorry.
Fritzo, you back?
El Fritzo,
Yep, I'm there.
¿qué estás tus goals para esta semana?
So I'm gonna exercise 7 times this next week, every day.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
First thing in the morning, after I spring out of bed, by myself, working out for an hour.
Why is it that you work out, Fritz?
Well, for me, I'm gonna live to be 152. So in order to do that, I'm gonna need to be in peak physical condition. Also, I think more clearly. Plus, if I'm going to be a leader, then I need to lead by modeling an example.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh, dear
looking-
Lord. All right. Dad,
No, quit.
Grandpa,
Another words.
people will need a little extra time, so if Kathy's going to be on the call next week, she'll want to have time to put together her annual goals and whatnot. So Kay will probably need to get her email out for next week's iLive call a little early to give people a jump start. Can you have that? Can you have that video over to Kay, the one you want her to send out today? Is that possible?
Yes.
All right. K-Bomb, can you send that out like tomorrow? That way, like Kathy has kind of a full week, so I bet she'll want to be on the call and do kind of a goal setting type thing. So she'll want to know we're doing a goal setting workshop.